Good morning, everybody. You are tuned to Computers 2K Now on the Nissan Communications Network. I'm Amnon, your host for the next couple hours, along with Spence.
Good morning. I'm having trouble tuning. You said we're tuned in.
Yeah, just use the fine tune button.
Fine tuning button? All right. I was turning the antenna, actually. I couldn't get it exactly right.
And Gal is here.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Our number is 919-518-9773. Computers 2K Voice on Skype. And this morning's show is made possible by vMix Software, DudeInIT.com, and is sponsored by Tom Sinclair of Live Streaming Gear. What's going on, guys? It's been a week.
Something's going on?
Nothing's going on?
No.
Well,
I'm
nothing.
exploring the wonders of new accounting software.
For
business. Yeah, small business stuff. Yeah. I'm trying something free I found online called Wave. That's for really small, like single people type businesses, but has the features I need. And see if it's going to work.
No, nice.
Yeah, but I'm reluctant because it's free, it's online, and will they be here in a year?
Which one?
It's called Wave Accounting. They have as you graduate to more feature and function, they offer things for sale. So the basic stuff is free. But
did you look to see how long they've been
around? Not yet. I mean, I started an idea and I just tried to play around with it to see how easy it'll be to import. I mean, I don't have anything complicated, and I just have to have a starting number, and I can go from there. But I want to see how easy it is to do invoices and sales tax and all that.
Nice.
So yeah, well, I'll report back because I did look to see this was the highest recommended free one. There were lots of like Quicken. We talked about Quicken and QuickBooks, and I'm still going to look at Quicken, whether Quicken will do what I need. It certainly keep it simple.
That will be around.
Yeah, I'm already set up in Quicken. So if I can just add those features that I need, I don't think it'll do sales tax. I don't know. Not that it's not that complicated for me. I can just add the line if I don't use invoice creation, I don't
assume that it will not do it.
No, I know, but I already have my own invoice template. I just plug the numbers in. It's very simple. So, not complicated.
No complicated. All right. Let's see what I have here to start with. I don't know what it even is. What is the HomePod from Apple?
What is what?
HomePod.
HomePod?
HomePod. Like iPod, HomePod. It says Apple has discontinued its original HomePod after 4 years. It says that it will continue to produce and focus on the HomePod Mini that was introduced last year.
It's an Alexa-like. Yeah, it's a speaker.
Oh. The larger HomePod offered a beefier sound space, but the Mini has been very well received and clearly accomplishes many of the duties that the larger version was tasked with. The sound is super solid, especially for the size, and it offers access to Siri, Apple Assistant feature. So yeah, they tried it for 4 years and it didn't work out. So they go with the one that is working. Let me tell you something. I got a Echo Dot last year.
Mhm.
I'm not really impressed with the sound. I mean, for the size, it's impressive.
Which one? Because the
third generation.
third generation.
Yeah.
I think I have
Yeah, but
one
not
of
the one
those.
that looks like a ball, right?
No.
A flat one.
The
Yeah.
puck. Yeah.
Yeah,
the puck.
those by design are crappy sound, right?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's. I mean, for the size, it's okay, but nah, not for music.
No,
I think I have the second gen, and it's not okay, but I have it hooked up to speakers.
yeah, but
Yeah.
that's the sweet spot that the Dot fills. You can, with a wire, right, hook it up to another speaker
Mhm.
and with Bluetooth. Something that, for example, the Google Mini doesn't allow you. There is no physical output to the Google Mini, and there is no Bluetooth connection with the Google Mini. Only Chromecast.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're only able to ask questions. You can't listen to music.
You can listen to music if you have something to cast to.
Well, no, I realize, but I'm just saying
Yeah,
is that
but it's like ridiculous. Yeah. No, that they like intentionally limited the there is Bluetooth hardware on that pod, on that small. It can be a Bluetooth speaker, but it cannot send out Bluetooth signal. It's like they intentionally crippled it.
Or they fired the guy that designed it.
No, I'm telling you, this was
I know,
intentional.
I realize. Yeah. Just it was, we forgot to put that in there. We meant to. We got a really good deal on the chipset.
I think they fired the guy who said, "Hey, maybe we'll make it a Bluetooth. Maybe we can make it so it'll work with other Bluetooth speakers." And what? Allow people to buy something cheap and enhance it on their own with their own money? No.
No,
No.
He probably
My
did.
original plan, joking aside, my original plan was to buy. I already had a Alexa spread out at home, and my original plan was to buy one of those minis and hook it up with Bluetooth to the Echo, which was an excellent speaker, and just use the Google features, right, and have both of them sit side by side, but both of them utilizing the Echo speaker. Not possible.
No,
that's exactly the reason I think they didn't want to enable it.
There was probably a guy that suggested it.
Yeah.
To do it, and he got fired.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
When it comes to integration, Google, this huge, very popular, very sort of developer, mecca of a company, when it comes to integration, they are the worst. They bought Nest, right?
Yeah.
And everything that has to do with the Nest integration went to crap the moment Google touched it.
I heard that.
And today, if you want to, they finally, in the past year, they've enabled third-party integration with the Nest ecosystem. They call it Google Home something. But you need to pay $5 in order to get access to the API.
I have a customer who told me that he's abandoning Nest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nest is the worst purchase I ever did. And I'm just glad that I bought only one item and didn't go into the whole ecosystem.
Well, it's interesting because everybody wants to have an ecosystem now. Every little company, the company made a camera, right? Now they're making everything else. The company made a doorbell. Now they're making everything else. Alarm systems, home automation, everything has to. And it's like, how many of these companies can exist and be successful? It's really interesting.
The only cautionary tale, the only part of the cautionary tale that I've learned from is all of these are fantastic. Stick with open source when it comes to home automation. Just because all of these companies, they suddenly, they
sell,
suddenly,
they disappear.
yeah, they do a backflip and suddenly they're closed.
Yeah.
I mean, what was that? The Will.i.am company, Wink, I think it was called.
Yeah, there was a Wink,
right?
That
went bust on everyone, right? So
I had a Gen 1 Wink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on. And the hardware itself is fantastic, but the moment you have zero control with the software, and they can lock it from afar, you're screwed. That's terrible.
No. Okay.
Think of what is the system that Lowe's had? Iris. They had their own
they
controller
shut down as well.
Yeah, they abandoned that. A lot of people weren't happy about that. They actually had set up a brand new immersive experience thing at Lowe's, at the local Lowe's, where they had people manning this booth, and then a week later announced that they were dumping their system at it. They had already built this thing, and it was never open, and they tore it down. It was gone. Oh, it was amazing. Now they sell some stuff, but that's just about it. They sell some stuff. I wonder if they even have an expert in the store.
Well, all right, listen to
store
this.
Probably needs to remain a store, no? Yeah, go ahead, Amnon.
A grandmother let her 13-year-old grandson use her credit card to buy added content for one of his games, for which she thought would be a $15 charge. After the account opened up because of the credit card on it, he started downloading other things, not realizing they were adding substantial charge to her credit card. She asked Sony to refund the charges. It's not like they can't disable the added content if they want it, but they told her basically, too bad, so sad, $1,300.
They got away easy.
A what?
It got away easy. It could have been $30,000.
Yeah. And she
but
said,
this is like pay-per-view all over again, right? Or paid phone services all over again, right? Nothing really changed, but it's like
it's the new 900 number.
Yeah,
it's amazing. I mean, she tried to go to the credit card company. The credit card company said, no, there's nothing we can do because you authorized it. And just, it's the end of the article was that he got a job, but he didn't offer to help her pay for it.
Oh, I was going to say, I thought the kid would be chained to the closet or something.
I know. He said he was upset about it, but
cleaning our attic for the next couple of years.
So just be, I mean, there's no need. I mean, you don't give.
So there's one way to avert most of this.
Yeah.
And especially Sony. Sony does not allow you to just, use your credit card for something one time. You need to put your credit card in the system.
Mm-hmm.
So the way to work around this is by prepaid card. Right? You go to Amazon, you order a prepaid code, $50 or whatever, right?
Yeah.
You use that, and when that's done, that's it.
Yeah, but the adult has to understand that before they do what they did. That's the problem.
Yeah, but
is one-time codes still a popular thing? With my credit card company at one time had one-time codes and actually could download an app to generate them, and it's gone. So does Apple still do it?
No, but there's privacy.com. right? There's like this company that does it on its own completely. At the beginning, there were no limits. Now I think they say you can generate, I don't know, 5 numbers a month or something like that for
That's
free.
still good though.
Yeah, which works. It's excellent. I use it.
Yeah, I remember
I,
Apple. That was a big thing
there are
about
some
Apple Pay.
subscriptions that I put it on. This way, I have full control.
Yeah.
And of course, if you have PayPal, use PayPal, because one of the nice things about PayPal is you start a subscription. PayPal is registered as a subscription. You can control the subscription on the PayPal side. You can switch it on, switch it off. Maybe just switch it off. I don't know, but it's enough for you to have control on your end without being in the mercy of the company.
So you could do a recurring payment with PayPal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never done it, but that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Especially
So
stuff that I
if you
forget
have an
about.
option, yeah.
Not only that, but apparently, from what you guys are saying, you have to put a credit card into the account on Sony, for instance, and others.
Yeah.
If you do it with PayPal, every time you want to pay with PayPal, you have to log into PayPal in order to generate a payment.
No.
I do.
So for a subscription like Sony,
Yeah.
you authorize Sony a subscription via PayPal. So the next time they want to charge, they're supposed to just pick it up from there. You don't need to put it in a password. But you still have control on the PayPal side to switch it off. You need to remember, you need to know where it is. It's not like it's in the front screen, but you still have control. But using something like privacy.com is probably the best option.
Yeah, the grandma probably didn't understand what she was doing. And I agree. The best thing is go to Amazon, get a card, get a code, and give it as a present to the kid and say, here, use it.
And some of the times, if you don't trust Amazon, and that's fine, go to Walmart, just buy a physical cards. Most of the times, those cards are available as physical cards. You can even pay with cash. You don't even need a credit card. So,
yeah. So, but this is kind of reminded me of the story of the grandma that got charged for the kid downloading music, but 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That grandmother, though, she has some good media coverage. Right? People are listening.
Now, I don't use Instagram. But it says that executives at Instagram are planning to build a version of the popular photo sharing app that can be used by children under the age of 13. So it must be really popular, but children can I guess, can do more with it. I mean, you can get it.
No, their problem is, so legally, especially in the States, legally, anybody below 13, it's not enough for 13-year-olds to or younger to click the I agree of a EULA for it to be valid. And so tracking information about a user is not lawful. The solution by companies like Sony, for example, which they do understand that, or Microsoft, they do understand that children are using these platforms, and they are tracking the user data that generated by these accounts. The way they go around this is that they tie the account to an adult account, and for certain actions, like when a EULA is needed to be signed, it asks for the adult account to intervene. So I'm guessing what they're saying is, we're going to create a version of Instagram where you can create a child account that is tied to an adult account that will be responsible for the legal part of the interaction. And it'll probably add control, filtering, the adult will choose which
what they can do.
things will be visible to the children, etc. Something that doesn't exist, for example, as far as I know, on YouTube. Actually, there's YouTube Kids, so maybe it already exists. Doesn't exist in Facebook, doesn't exist in other, Twitter doesn't have anything like that, right? So,
No.
But it's a legal thing, mostly.
Yeah, it must be.
For these companies.
Sure.
And of course, it's a revenue stream like no other, right? Kids are the masters of emotional kidnap, right? Kidnap.
Kids and their grandmothers.
Extortion, emotional extortion. So...
on another story, Signal has stopped working in China and is now only accessible via a VPN. So
somebody, the Chinese government didn't like that didn't have access to the information.
It's got to be. Just amazing what they're doing there, and
Pam was
we're complaining about.
Pam was watching a video about people who have escaped from China. And they were talking about how they had promoted for years the one-child policy, and then they switched it for some reason to where you should have two, and it just talked about all the propaganda and everything about their culture, pushing these different social attributes, and how if you don't comply, what can happen to you, and just unbelievable. You just sit back and go, and the people who have literally somehow they got out, and talking about what their life was like when they were in China. It's just
that's what happens when the state controls the radio. Can you imagine what would happen here if NPR was the only? It's not state controlled, but it's controlled.
Oh, it's pretty much state controlled. It depends on whose state is, but
yeah.
But I know. It's
and we're complaining about little things when people cannot.
You should complain about because it's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
Once you start down that way, you start to accept things, and each new generation is like, "Oh, it's okay. I don't mind you doing that."
No.
So, oh well.
This too shall pass.
I'm putting together a parcel of land in Montana. I'm going to create my own development, minimum 10-acre zoning. So you're at least 5 acres away from your closest neighbor. So I'm looking for investors to go join me up there. Alaska would be nice. It's just too far, too cold.
Most of the year, but you like it.
Most of the year. Oh no, I like it. Yeah, I'm still waiting to see now. They're still trying to more developments on the whole Alaska thing, where the bills a couple of bills were put forward in the Senate and the House to try to do something, and they didn't get any traction. So now they're trying a different approach, and supposedly there are new CDC guidelines imminent for travel that may change what's going on, but it's getting to the point where it's going to be too late to try to resume any kind of cruising this year. So, so it's interesting how I won't talk about this long, but Royal Caribbean just didn't want to wait. Saying we need to cruise. We've got ships sitting here empty.
Mm-hmm.
We can go. We know we have guidelines for cruising, and so they couldn't resume it in the United States yet. So they said, okay, we'll set it up in Nassau, the Bahamas. We'll sail out of there. So all their cruises for this one ship now originate out of Nassau. And another ship Century ship, or they're going to do it out of St. Martin. They decided, well, that's going to be our home base now, St. Martin. So it's limited because they just can't process that many ships like they could in Miami or Fort Lauderdale, but they're going to do it because they said, I can't wait.
But they have the customers. That's the thing.
They have the customers. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
people want to go, and people who have been vaccinated want to go.
Yep.
And so they've come out with new guidelines that said anybody over 18 has to be vaccinated. Under 18 has to pass a test.
Yeah.
Within 2 days and show proof of it. And all the employees on the ships, the crews, are already vaccinated. They're all ready to go. And
Nice.
it'd be interesting.
Yeah, I keep on saying the way that we get back to normal or as close to normal as we can, is not because the government is going to allow us. It's people are going to just all over the world are going to do things that are just going to go in a way against some decisions that governments made, and nothing is going to happen. And another country will do it, and another country, and we'll see.
They actually gave a rundown. The article I read talked about the different countries that are dealing with it now and how some have dealt with it better than others. And believe it or not, the UK was considered to be, wow, they're really, they're way behind. They're way behind.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're actually one of the cruise lines are going there because they want to base cruises that just go around England because they're way ahead on their vaccinations. Apparently, they've done so much more. They've had such an aggressive program to get everybody vaccinated that they're saying the country's going to be open. They want to have people come in and they're willing to accept people who have been vaccinated to come in and visit.
Yeah, that'll work.
But the current administration is taking credit for all this,
Of course.
for all the vaccinating. It's absolutely incredible to watch it.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like I'm not saying the current administration needs to take credit, but it's not like the previous administration did anything good about it either.
No, I mean, come on.
Like
The
both
previous
administrations,
no,
they
no,
failed.
don't say that. The
The
previous
whole vaccine program, the fast start thing that they did that cut
Fast
all the
track.
red tape.
fast track.
Yeah,
Fast
fast
track.
track, whatever it was called, fast track.
Yeah,
Had it not been for that, we'd still be waiting.
yeah. That was kind of like
On that part, I'm not even arguing, but
no.
I
That's
mean, basically,
Oh, no, you still have the same
it
bureaucracy.
would have been faster if they've taken, I don't know, the army or something and worked door to door and just got everybody vaccinated. Come on, it's ridiculous. People
there's no way that would happen in the United States.
no.
I know.
But
I think
the
thing. There's
doesn't-
no infrastructure for anything like this.
there's no it's the same bureaucracy at the CDC that there was in the other administration. Nope, nothing's changed.
No. It's not like
Yeah.
before it was okay and now it's not, or the other way around. It's like this hasn't been dealt with
Ever.
forever.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Not
Yeah.
like the fault of a specific administration. It's something in the mindset of how of health. There's no health system here, right?
Well, you know what
There's
happened?
no actual system to work within.
Something did change. Something did change when this happened because the response was unprecedented based on the way things have been dealt with in the past. Usually you isolate the people who are most vulnerable and life goes on. And that's not what happened. It's the 2-week curve thing turned out to be a 1.5-year curve thing. And it just, I don't think anybody really understood. But now now it's exposed. We see how the bureaucracy isn't really in our favor.
I mean, we are regressing here, but
Yeah, we shouldn't. I'm sorry.
it's
So the
it's
Apple, the new Windows 10 update, the emergency update, right?
yeah.
Which
Go ahead.
to fix the problems. Have you put it on yet?
No, I did not have a problem.
I didn't update this machine I'm on now. I paused
No,
it.
I let it. I mean, here I don't print. Period. And all my printers are Brother, and there was no problem. But it's amazing to think about the there was more problems with the patches for the problems. So it goes.
It's astounding that you can. I've had printer issues in the past with Windows updates, but usually the printer goes away, and you have to reinstall the driver, and it works. But this time, it's crashing the machines.
Yeah,
it's.
So here it goes.
Yeah.
Following reports that a recent update to Windows 10 was causing blue screens, as well as problems with printing. See, that's two different things. Microsoft issued a new series of updates to address the issue. But it seems that the problems caused by this month's Patch Tuesday updates are actually worse than first thought. For each of these 4 updates, Microsoft issued the same warning. After installing update release March 9th or March 15th, you might...
They had the March 18th update.
Yeah. You might get unexpected results when printing from some apps. There is currently no fix. And Microsoft is not even able to offer a workaround right now. Well, you roll it back. I mean, that's the workaround. Instead,
but beyond the scope of a lot of people.
It says instead, the company simply says, that's Microsoft, we are working on a solution and estimate a solution will be available in the coming days. Days can be 3 and can be 100, right?
Well,
I sure hope they're going to fix it because this is going to get into history.
I have a solution.
It's
that you take the big company and you give everybody a flash drive, and they take their files that they want to print, and they walk to a central computer that's isolated, and they print their stuff, and they go back. That's not unreasonable, right?
Yeah.
Gee, I have to print something. I have to drive into work. Hey, it used to be that way. Back when everybody just had inkjet printers, you wanted to print some document that would be, 30, 40 pages. You go to work to print it.
This brought up something. Dana was here last night. She brought her new laptop that she bought on QVC.
Ooh.
And she needed an email program, and she wanted me to put Office on it. She bought it, and she paid $50 extra for Office, and it was never there, she said. So, okay, I said, yeah, let's see what's going on. I've never seen such a slow computer laptop. I don't know what the problem with it is. I mean, I didn't know what the problem was. I still don't know. But the thing is, it took forever to boot. It took forever to do anything. You click on something, it's literally minutes.
Is it a new machine?
It's an i5 2.7 gig with 8 gig of RAM.
Wow.
Now,
it's new, not refurbished.
Oh, no, it's new. Yeah, it's an HP. It's new. So she wanted to buy Office. So I went to good old Digital's dash world and to see how much Office would be a key. And then I realized, oh, wait a second. I bought Office 2019 last year and I never used it. So I'll put that for her. So I went ahead and downloaded according to the instructions, and I'm installing it. And it comes back and it says, cannot install. The 32-bit version is already installed here.
Right, you need to uninstall it, yeah.
I'm saying, what? Why 32-bit? So I'm starting to look, and it looked like QVC or whoever did install Office 365, but the 32-bit, and it wasn't activated. So it was kind of hiding. And the only reason I found it is because I said, what installed? So I went to uninstall, and sure enough, there it was. Why would anybody install a 32-bit program like this, like Office, on a 64-bit machine if it wasn't just
they bought a lot of licenses for 32-bit that were left over that nobody wanted.
Well, that's too
shoved
bad.
them on there. Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you have a bunch of diesel fuel and you have a new fleet of cars that uses gas, you don't put it in there.
But
You know,
and isn't there? Is there a cost difference between if you were to buy? You would get.
I don't know. The only reason that I can see is one, to save money somehow, which, you know, don't buy new ones, or gross irresponsibility and gross lack of knowledge. Okay, so I went ahead and I uninstalled it.
But you had the key code.
I don't need the key code. I'm putting Office 2019.
Oh.
And this time it installed. So I'm going to activate it. Nope, can't activate it. Try it
Why?
again. Nope, can't activate it. So I
Why?
said, okay, I'm going to do the phone activation. So I went through the whole thing and gave the numbers and everything. And remember, I did not put the key in there yet in for Office to activate it. It just you either can say I have a key, and they say no, we can't do it automatically, and you go to the code, and then it's supposed to happen later. After I went through the whole thing, it came back. The assistant there, the digital assistant that does it, say, we cannot activate this.
Is the digital assistant still that little paperclip man?
No.
Oh. Okay.
So the only thing that I figured was that there is still, because there were, even though I uninstalled it, there were programs like Excel which did not belong. I mean, the icons were different. And I said, no, it's there's something underlying there in the operating system that is still the 32-bit Office 365, and it thinks that that's what it's supposed to activate. And when I put the key for the 2019, no, can't take it because that's not what you have. I figured, okay, maybe that has something to do with the slowness of the machine. Maybe something got screwing in there. Also, I asked her if she activated it with a Microsoft account. Said she didn't know. I could not. Every time I was trying to do it, it would not. I did. Oh, I know. I did the updates on it, saying, well, maybe that's what it is. It wanted Microsoft account, Microsoft. So I disconnected it from the internet, rebooted, and it went through, but it didn't ask for activation or anything. I told, we finally, Katie was here too, we finally decided what we're going to do, because Donna said, I'm going to buy a new one. I said, no, let's just wipe it. Just wipe the computer completely, reinstall Windows 10, installed it the right way, and then install Office. Because I don't see a computer being that slow. There is no reason for it to be that slow. It's not an SSD. It's a 2 terabyte drive. These are not slow. And
that's unusual for a spinning drive to be 2 terabytes on a laptop.
Well, so I figured doing it the right way will fix it. If not, then she can go and buy a new one. But
it's not Windows 10 S, is it?
No,
Oh.
No.
Yeah, you probably would have found out right away if it was that.
But
There's another way.
Yeah.
So there's this little piece of software. It is basically like a hacked download version. Well, it's like a control center for hacking Office. Okay.
Okay.
But one of the good things that it does, it can download Office for you, the version that you want, right? And it can help you wipe out completely from the registry everything that has to do with activation.
Okay, but that will not fix the problem that the computer is real slow.
No, the slowness, that sounds like a hardware malfunction, to be truthful, right? If you've installed Windows fresh and it's still slow.
Yeah, then it's right.
It could be a driver
issue. Did you run Snappy driver?
Yeah.
What's Snappy driver installer?
I did not run anything on it because every time I tried to run any program, even when I put CCleaner on it took
forget
forever.
CCleaner does nothing on the low level of the system.
I understand.
Try Snappy driver installer, see if there's any new drivers for it.
Well, but my point is that everything was so slow that I did not want to get into any of that stuff because you waste your time and then you are the same.
Yeah.
What kind of warranty did this come with?
Never mind, no more warranty. She bought it over a year ago and she didn't use it much. She didn't use it.
Yeah, you have another drive laying around? Do a clean install on a new drive?
I'm going to do it on this. I'm not going to try a different drive.
Is there any special software on there that she wants to keep?
Well, she just has H&R Block, which is web-based, and Quicken. That's what
no special QVC software?
No.
It's not because of any bloatware, right? You installed a fresh version of Windows from a USB key?
I did not install anything. It came installed. I mean...
No, I thought you said you tried installing a fresh version of Windows.
That was Office.
No, Office. Now, the plan is to wipe the computer. I didn't do it last night. I was too tired. And besides, she needs to back up the data from H&R Block and Quicken. So I told her to go home and do it. And then she's going to bring it back and I'm going to wipe it and install fresh copy of Windows.
Okay.
And see
Windows
how it
Home
does.
Or Pro?
Pro. And if it works, okay, I mean normal, then she's going to get an SSD and we're going to just clone it to a SSD and replace the drive. If I could open that machine, I did not look to see if changing the drive on one of those newer thin laptop is, in the old ones, there was like a tray that you can just slide out
you'll probably have to split it and remove the keyboard to get.
Yeah, you see, now that's, I don't know about that.
It's not that hard.
Well,
there's tutorials online where people do it and you can watch how they make mistakes so you can learn from them.
Yeah, there were two of them for customers that I did some years ago, and both of them, once I put it back together, I had a couple of screws left and things did not work right.
That's normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you keep a tray with all the extra screws in it.
So, I mean, the computer was $350. And I said, well, QVC sells stuff that nobody else can sell.
You know what? That sounds to me like an off-lease machine.
Yeah. I don't know.
They, refurbed or just, wiped it and sold them as, if they sold it as new.
Yeah, it was new. Yeah.
But.
So it's just interesting that things like this. I mean, the Office thing was, I just couldn't believe it.
I thought there was no difference in consumer costs between 32 and 64-bit versions.
In all honesty, when there were one of the messages when I was trying to install it first, when it says I cannot do it because there's already a 32-bit version, it says install as 32-bit. And I said, no, I'm
Yeah,
not
so
going
it shouldn't matter. It used to be it came with 2 different discs, and now it's like you choose.
Yeah, but I was not going to do it in a, 32-bit. That's ridiculous.
What did you figure out? What version? What was actually on there? What version of 32-bit?
It was Office 365 2016, because I saw Office 2016 tools under the programs, and in the uninstaller it says Office 365.
So that's like one of the really early versions of Office 365.
Oh.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Once you install it, you can.
Oh, I realize it keeps updating, but I mean, who knows? This sounds like it was a machine that might have been purchased somewhere and new and never used or never sold. And then they bought a lot of them and sold them. They were new, but they were not, they were sitting somewhere.
Well,
Just getting old.
point is a problem.
Definitely. What you should do is just put it in the freezer overnight,
Uh-huh.
and that'll kill off all the bugs in it.
Right.
And then you can run it. It'll work better.
All right,
By the way,
Spence.
if the hard drive is a mechanical hard drive,
Yeah.
it could be that the slowness is because of some physical issue with the hard drive.
I'm not saying that it couldn't be.
If it's a few years old and it was a 2 terabyte spinning drive, that was like,
Just run some smart
Yeah, but
diagnostic
the
on
thing
it.
is,
It'll just read it'll tell you if there's any issue.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
that's
good
true.
point. Yeah.
Or better yet, I'm guessing, because most BIOSes, they come with the smart diagnostic off. Just switch it on, and then during boot you'll see the output.
yeah, it'll interrogate it.
Yeah.
Spence,
Yes,
are you ready for
absolutely.
specials?
And there are a couple of good deals on SSDs too. If you want to buy an SSD for her
She asked
machine.
me what computer she should buy. I said, I don't know. You need to listen to Computers 2K now and see what Spence has.
Well, actually, it's interesting because this week I went back to Staples and Office Depot, and I had very good results finding stuff.
all right.
But I went to Best Buy like I would normally go, and it was just, how many times do you want to change the way you access your? It was so deeply buried to find, click on laptops. What kind of laptop do you want? No, just show me all the sales. I just want you to show me all the sale prices. No, they won't do it. So it's really hard. The other ones were really easy to find.
right.
But just show me all the specials. But so I did do a third category. We'll cover that. But
Just when you get to it.
yeah.
All
I'll
right.
get to it. All right. So when you have finished working on a creation that has taken quite a lot of time, and take a break, only to find that Windows 10 has restarted to finish updates. That doesn't happen, does it? No, it never happens. Windows frozen, try Control-Alt-Delete. Yeah, that's good. And when I have to open Task Manager to kill Task Manager, I've actually run into that. Very interesting. You keep opening Task Manager, keep opening instances of Task Manager to shut the prior one down. So I didn't think it could run more than one instance, but I have actually seen that. Oh, well, you get the picture? Don't do anything or I'll shoot myself. All right. So starting with Staples, we've got a couple of good deals on some laptops. And this is not, the thing was, this is not the only ones. Lots of stuff has gone on sale. Office Depot, especially, just a lot of sales on laptops. It seems like
But we're on Staples now.
Oh, we're on Staples now. But just to say, we've got both places. It's worth looking. This is literally just a small snapshot of what I found. We've got a 15-inch HP Notebook i3 for $399. It's $90 off, 8 gig, and a 256 SSD. Got an Asus i5 12 gig 256 SSD for $479, which is 120 off the regular price. I've never seen the Asus small form factor machines, and I put this in here because it's something new. But it's a Asus, they call it Expert Center D7, and it's $549, it's 150 off. It's an i5 8 gig 512 SSD. Worth looking at. I like the Lenovo stuff. I think they really do a good job, but something different to look at. Now, this is something new, and I see this out there. Other people are adopting this concept. Eye care monitor. Asus has this 27-inch LED monitor for $159. That's the cheapest I found an eye care monitor. Some of them are much more expensive, but it does something to do with the frequency of light and the flicker rate and all of that to reduce eye strain. If it works, for $159, it's worth it. And it's a big screen, but it's 27-inch screen. So that's actually a pretty good deal. And that's the regular price.
You still have to go to the eye doctors if you
still do have to go there because somebody has to confirm it's helping, right?
Yeah.
Just the fact that you don't have headaches anymore doesn't really mean anything. Okay, so we've got Avermedia, which is it's not an unknown brand. I can't say that I've purchased anything from them, but their 2 megapixel webcam, full HD, is on sale for $54.99, $25 off. And you can get the really cheap knockoff versions of these, but this is up there. I think I'd put this just below Logitech when it comes to cameras, but pretty good price for the class of camera. We've got an HP solid state 250 gig SSD for $34.99, regularly $39, so it's 5 off. Got a 512 Seagate Barracuda 512 gig SSD for $61.99, $8 off. That tells you how the prices of this stuff has come down. If the regular prices are $39.99 and $70 for these sizes, the prices have really come down. We've got good price on you can buy really cheap thumb drives, ones that have no case, no cover, no protection whatsoever. But this is $399 each, normally $999 for Philips 116 gig USB 2.0 flash drive. But what I like about it is the fact that it's got a case, a cover. It's not the cheapest form factor you can buy. And we have Roku streaming stick. The 3810R is on sale for $39.99, $10 off. We've got probably the most popular router I've worked on ever. The TP-Link Archer C7 is on sale for $49, which is $30 off.
Wow.
I have both the older and newer versions of this. I like the newer version a little better because it's got some features built in that you can configure in the other one, but you just have to click to say use this feature in the newer ones. Work really well. Have hard drives hooked up to them. They're sharing on the network, and it just works. So it's $49, regularly $79. Got a good deal on a Canon image class wireless all-in-one laser printer for $149. That's 50 off. And we're starting to see printer sales. Still not on Brother, and I think I don't know if it's a supply chain issue or whatever, but you see them available, but I'm not seeing them have not seen a Brother printer sale yet. But other printers, yes. And finally, we've got Epson Rapid Receipt wireless portable scanner for $199, which is $60 off. Now, this is it is single sheet feed. It is not a scanning bed. So it's very small, very portable. There's not a multi-sheet feeder, but it does do two-sided receipt scanning, quick scanning. It's got software to actually organize your receipts. Okay, that's at Staples. At Office Depot, Office Max, we've got lots of deals on Lenovo, but HP also on sale. Lenovo IdeaPad 5, 15.6-inch i5 for $519, which is $280 off the regular price. Got an HP 15.6-inch AMD Ryzen 3 for $339, which is $100 off the regular price. Got an AOC 27-inch LED monitor. I would say entry-level monitor, but still for 27 inches is a good price. $129, which is 50 off. Got an HP Pavilion Ryzen 7 desktop, 256 gig solid state drive, 8 gig of memory for $599, which is 100 off the regular price. Next, we have one of these utility monitors. These are really good if you travel or you want to set up, if you have a small home workstation that you want to have an extra monitor on. This is a 16-inch LED USB powered portable monitor for $99. It comes with a case. So very, very handy device. We've also got a different Canon printer here, image class. It's not an all-in-one. It does have a scanner, but it's not an all-in-one where it doesn't have a multi-sheet feeder. For $129, $80 off. This is a monochrome laser printer. The other thing I haven't seen any sales on is Logitech keyboards. And all the places I looked today, they're all selling them at regular prices, regular retail prices. But doesn't mean they're not good deals. Maybe the prices, these seem to be good prices. The prices are not, outrageous. So we've got the MK540 full-size regular flat keyboard for $44.99. It's a mouse keyboard combo. And we also have the MK320, which is the one I'm actually using on my other desktop. And I have a even older model on this machine, but the 320 MK320 is only $27.99, full-size straight keyboard. We've got a couple of interesting things. I poked around just in, what else can I find out here? I looked at USB sound cards, and they had something called a StarTech USB stereo adapter external sound card with SPDIF in and out, which is valuable. So if you have a sound card and it's a physical mini plug going in, you want to take advantage of the digital input and output to your PC. This has a SPDIF adapter, which is you can take the optical cable and plug it in and have a direct out optical connection. And it's a small device, got a sound microphone and speaker outputs, as well as some other features here, and a audio, what do you call a level control. That's a little dial, good for taking a little portable audio output. $36. They also have another thing from StarTech. It's a 7.1 Dolby 7.1 surround sound adapter with access. It's a USB external. They call an external sound card for $38.99. And it has all the different outputs. So you've got front, rear, subwoofer outputs. So you can plug it into some existing equipment, and that's just $2 more than the other one. Nice little setup. I've also got Seagate Backup Plus 4 terabyte portable hard drive for $109. And finally, this is for you, Amnon, for Easter. We've got some kids over-the-ear magnetic animal ears, Easter bunny ears headset for $12.74, which is $2.25 off. And next week, we want to see you wearing these on the show. Okay. And finally, I just did some scanning out there. I found one of the articles about CNET from this year. I actually never went and looked at CNET to see what was coming out. I know there was some attention about it, but I didn't pay any much attention to it. But I've just looked to see, well, what's out there that's different. So this one desktop from Lenovo is called the AIO7, Yoga AIO7, which is a reasonably priced, considering $1,000 is the retail price. It's coming out this month. It's an all-in-one desktop, but it's got some cool things. The monitor rotates and auto adjusts when you rotate it. So if you have it set up for landscape and you want to turn it to portrait, it will automatically adjust the screen. You don't have to change the settings. But it's also got some features in it that lets you run some apps that help with eye strain. I don't know that it's inherent in the monitor itself, but it's part of the operating system to help reduce eye strain. But it's a Ryzen 4000, so it's a high-end processor. Nvidia GeForce RTX 2060 graphics, detachable webcam. It has an Alexa built in, and so it's a lot going on here. It says it's got upcoming update will also allow users to wirelessly stream video content on the screen from their phone or tablet. That's cool too. Just it's got a little tray in the front. It's not showing it in this particular picture, but I saw it showed a different version of the base. I think it might have been the engineering version, but it does have a place to drop your phone in, a little, not a cradle, but a tray to hold the phone just under the monitor. So it's a nice feature. We'll see. All right, Netgear has a new whole home mesh product, Wi-Fi 6. It's called the AX 1800. Well, it's called the MX62. It's AX standard 1800 router. You buy it. You use one, but you start with two, and the one side it comes with. This is the base station plus one expander module. You can put up to 25 devices. You can expand this out to use 25 of these extenders, which is pretty amazing. But it says up to 3,000 square feet just with this setup. And then if you want to keep expanding it, you can. So it's $211, which is normally $229, so it's $10 off. I don't know, have any experience with this. I can't say how much better it will be, but the form factor is nice. And it will replace your existing router. You don't have to use although you won't have each of these, the base station has two Ethernet ports for your connection to the internet and for a wired connection to some other devices. So if you had to connect a switch to it, you could do that. But each of the other extenders also has an Ethernet port. So you could either run it as an access point over a backbone, or you could use it to connect other Ethernet-based devices across the Wi-Fi backbone. So it's nice setup. We've got a new Western Digital portable SSD. It's very small form factor. It's barely bigger than the SSD itself. And what I thought was pretty good about it was that it has, it comes in increments of, so it starts at 500 gig, and you can get a 1 terabyte, a 2 terabyte, and a 4 terabyte version of it. The 500 gig version is $89.99. The prices go up from there. I think it was the 1 terabyte was $149, and then up from there. But what I liked about it, 6-foot drop. This is designed to be abused. So normally things are designed for 4-foot drops. 6-foot drop adds, think about it, terminal velocity, how much harder would it hit? So I think it's they actually put some engineering into this to try to make it as robust as possible. But the entry-level 500 gig version is $89. Supports USB 3.2 Gen 2, USB-C, and a USB-A for older devices. So it's compatible across the line. If you have older machines and newer machines, you want to share data, it's possible to do it easily.
All right, Spence, if you got this and you happen to drop it from 5 feet on the ground, would you trust it to do your backups on?
Good question. Don't know.
Keep going.
Don't know. I've dropped other stuff and you used it. No. Oh, well. And the last, it is the last interesting device I came across is the Roku Sound Bar. That is the Roku streaming player and soundbar together. And they have different bundles. Now the price that's up here, this is the high-end bundle.
Wow.
If you notice, they have the low-end bundle, the stream bar only, which is what you see the first picture. It's the Roku streaming adapter and a small soundbar.
Mm-hmm.
So this could be just for $129. I thought that's pretty good. If the sound guard sounds good, cheap sound bars, you can buy them $30-$40. They don't sound good. So if this has a good sound to it and it's got the Roku player built into it, could be good. Then you go from there, you can get the surround sound version, which has, and there's a picture of that here, that's got the 2 satellite speakers. And then from there, you can get the surround sound with subwoofer, and it gets expensive. So it's $278 for the surround set, and $428 for the surround set with subwoofer. But from what I'm reading, the quality here is really good. So I hesitate to
all
buy.
wireless, right?
What's that? It's wireless. Yes,
And it's all wireless.
It's all wireless, which is a nice setup.
That's a very good. I mean, if you want to do a comparable setup for Sonos, right? Then the high end one will cost you around 1,200 plus.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is impressive. If the sound quality is
If the
worth
sound
it,
quality is
then
good.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's impressive.
It's a nice all-in-one kind of solution. So
I wonder what is the type of connectability with, with music services and stuff.
yes,
with
well,
Roku.
because you've got all the apps built into the Roku. So why wouldn't you extend it? Why wouldn't you have
I mean,
Pandora?
if this
Why
works
wouldn't you
with,
have
I'm
Spotify?
guessing Spotify will work because I do know that the Roku TVs work very well with Spotify.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that'll work. I wonder if the Amazon Music and Google Music, YouTube Music, if those work as well, then this is a steal. This is a very good value for what it gives.
I wonder if you couldn't.
Is it extendable?
It's
Can you buy just the
HDMI.
speakers
HDMI. I
and
wonder if you
add them?
couldn't plug this into a monitor and not into a television. Would it still do everything you want it to do? I would guess it would. Why wouldn't it? So if you didn't want to even have a TV, why can't you if you just use Roku for everything, you have a monitor and you could use it for your. Just wondering.
Yeah, but keep in mind that TVs today are cheaper than monitor.
And they are. I realize that. But if you
Yeah.
had an HDMI monitor and you just wanted to plug this in and use it,
Yeah,
you could.
I'm guessing it'll
Yeah.
it'll provide you everything that you need because you do not need a tuner. You don't need anything else, right? You just
Yep.
need something to output the image. Yeah.
So Amnon, when you were talking earlier about the EchoDot and not having lousy sound quality,
Mhm.
you didn't realize in the background that I went out and altered this and came up with this just to serve the purpose of having better audio from Alexa. So it was mind reading, I guess, really. But Echo Studio high fidelity smart speaker with 3D audio and Alexa. It's expensive. It's $199.
And why not just buy the Echo? The big Echo is less
Oh,
than
well,
that.
this is supposed to be a replacement for that. It's smaller. It's got better sound quality. It has some more features to it, but it's expensive. It's $199, and if you get the subwoofer, it's $329. So they're competing to get the high end
Yeah,
audio market.
yeah.
Here. So, but this is something new, relatively new, high rated. Well, and finally, this I thought was fascinating. USB-C power bank, 30,000 milliamps, 3 amps. So I thought that was pretty good. 30,000 milliamps would be 3 amps, correct? 100 watts, 150 watts max output. It's got a USB-C. It's got a 60 watt PD30 RAV power travel charger. It will actually has a 100 watt AC outlet built into it. So really for roving power for the form factor, it's $129. It actually sounds like a pretty good deal. I don't know that much
so
about it.
USB-C means that it can charge a laptop. Yeah.
Yeah, charge a laptop. Yeah. But it does say
What's the
USB-C
weight of this
adapter
thing?
not included.
What's the weight of this thing? It's probably
They don't
heavy.
say.
It doesn't, I mean, looking at the size of the connections on the side there,
It's small.
it doesn't look like it's all that big. So
It's not compact, right? It's a brick, but
I have an older USB power supply that was only, I don't know what the milliamps was, not even
10,000.
close to this. Yeah, but not even close to this. That's twice the size. Yeah, it's an early one. It's from like 3-4 years ago. So, but that sounds pretty good. So, That's it for Computers 2K Now specials for March 21st,
Why,
2021.
thank you, Senor
You're welcome.
Spence.
And the bunny rabbit ear headset will be arriving.
Yeah.
Probably delivered today.
Uh-huh.
So. All right.
Right.
Yep.
All right. 919-518-9773 is our phone number. Come on, guys. Call in. Let's talk about something that interests you. Something you want to talk about. 919-518-9773. Or if you're on Skype and you just want to connect with Skype, then Computers 2K Voice. I love this. Twitter says on this week it will seek public input on when and how it should ban world leaders, saying it was reviewing policy and considering whether the leaders should be held to the same rules as other users. I thought they already decided that.
Think about the fact that they're holding anybody to any rules.
Yeah. No.
The fact that we're the arbiter of information now, so you have to clear our standard. For
Guess what? They're going to get an astounding yes. You know why? Because thousands and thousands of conservatives left. They're not really using Twitter anymore. So who's left there? Mostly people that would want. So they waited long enough.
And let them restrict it.
Yeah.
It's their platform. They can do whatever they want with it. Just don't give them the protections that they keep saying they are and aren't something. When it's convenient to say they are, they use it. When it's convenient to say they aren't, they use it. And nobody seems to challenge it.
Right. Yep. And it's just amazing that they are. I mean, they come out like this, and it sounds like, oh, yeah, we're trying to do the right thing. Well,
you're trying to do the right thing for themselves. Come on. What everybody's doing.
Yeah.
Amnon, were we talking about this the other day to say that the only reason we have Twitter is so that if somebody links to Twitter, we can look at a comment? Because on the other things I'm on, because people say, oh, I saw this on Twitter, and I go look at it and I shut Twitter off because I just don't go there anymore.
I don't know how long it's been since I've been on Twitter.
Yeah, I haven't posted on Twitter in months. So, oh well.
You were talking about the Archer.
Yes.
The TP-Link.
C7.
And I have a strange occurrence. I told you about it, Spence. I have an Asus 1750. And last week, remember I was telling you guys about the fact that I had to shut it down because of the UPS fan and all that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize until 2 days later that actually I was not getting the messages from my backup server. So I got in touch with Ron. I said, Ron, something is going on with the backup server. So he said, well, last time this happened, all I had to do is just get on the router and make sure that and turned on the VPN because it relies on VPN connection to back it up. I said, oh, okay. So I went in. Sure enough, VPN was off. So I turned it on and barrage of emails came in. I said, okay, good to know. On last Tuesday, I got the fan for the UPS. So I put it in. Everything is working like it's supposed to. And I said, okay, now do I really want to turn everything off again right now? I said, yeah, it's just like a Band-Aid. You have to do it and do it real quick. And so I did. I turned everything off and took it offline, pulled out the UPS that I left there, and slid the new one, the old one, back in, and connected it and plugged it in, and everything is working. The switch came back on, everything came back on. I said, okay, now I want to check and see on that VPN. So I went to the router and looked in the menu. Sure enough, VPN was turned off. So it seems like every time the power goes out on that router, it switches the VPN off. And all you have to do is just go in there and slide it to the right, software slide, and everything is fine. And it stays like this as long as it has power. I don't know if anybody else is using VPN that's in the router, the router's VPN feature. And if that's a feature, or is that something is wrong with the router software? But
no, but keep in mind that the routers VPN on a router works on the router CPU.
Yeah.
The more advanced the cipher, the harder it is on the router.
Okay.
So if it's an old router or something, and the CPU isn't,
it's about 2 years.
A lot of memory, it can kill the router.
But it doesn't kill the router. Everything on the router is fine. Everything is working. I mean, you say, okay, everything is. I mean, and I went and I checked other feature. Nothing changed except the VPN status was turned off, and I just had to switch it back on. That's the only thing. It's only the VPN status. I mean, all the other what's in the VPN and how to work was still there, but enable, disable, kind of like it got disabled.
Yeah.
When the power went out. I mean, now that I know it, it's fine, but it's interesting to point. And I didn't know if anybody had that problem. But yeah, I'm glad I have that UPS back in place, because the other one has the other one that I put in there has two little 12-volt, UPS batteries, and it probably wouldn't hold all the stuff that's hooked to it, which is not much, but it's two computers and a monitor and all the switch and router and modems and all that. The old one is hooked to a big 12-volt battery outside, the car battery for a diesel car. I mean, it's a big oversized battery, so that stays for hours. And nice, everything is back to normal so far. Let's see what else. It looks like we're going to go through another round of net neutrality.
Oh, no.
Tech companies led by Mozilla are urging the Federal Communication Commission to swiftly reinstate net neutrality rules stripped away under the Trump administration. It looks like this is going to be a back and forth thing.
What are they thinking? What are they thinking happened that shouldn't have happened?
There's nothing there that they are specifying. It's supposed to be there, so everybody has this and everybody has that. Again, what does Mozilla have to do with it? It's.
I don't know, but if it comes from Mozilla, it might be interesting, because up until now they've been the only one untainted when it comes to privacy, right? So I don't know what it has to do with net neutrality. I haven't looked into
Yeah.
it. It might be interesting.
It's just interesting that it's back and forth. I think somebody has to take it to the Supreme Court, make it a law, an amendment, one way or another, so we don't have to go through this again and again and again.
Right.
What else here? That's for gamers. That's kind of bad, I think. Nvidia is effectively doubling the price of GeForce Now, its cloud streaming service. Oh no, that's a different thing. The company will add a new subscription tier on last Thursday, called Priority Membership, which will cost $9.99 a month or $99.99 a year. I guess it's just stuff that you can. It's like a service like Roku or any of those things. I mean, not
Game
Roku.
streaming? No. Game streaming is something
It's not.
else.
No,
Game
no, no, no.
streaming-
I was reading a different story about gaming. This has nothing to do with gaming. This is
Okay.
GeForce Now. It says that it's their cloud streaming service. GeForce Now.
GeForce Now.
No,
that's game streaming.
It is?
That's exactly
Okay.
it. The whole idea of game streaming is
to use somebody else's hardware.
right. The server basically hosts the game.
Right.
You have a display and controller, but all of the processing, graphics, all of the heavy lifting, storage for the games, etc., that happens on a remote location. So that means you can play with your mobile phone or with your laptop, but you can play on a rig that is equivalent to a $2,000 gaming rig. But because it's time shared, because it's something you just while you're playing and you're paying monthly, then the price is like way lower. This is great for college kids, right? Where they don't have the luxury of hauling, heavy hardware, and they can still continue. They can still use all of their game libraries. The real problem with these services right now is it has nothing to do with whatever game you already own. So whatever you need to, if you want to, it's not just that you're using, in this case, Nvidia's hardware, right? You're also buying the game or purchasing the rights to use the game through Nvidia once more. But yeah, it's Stadia is the Google one, which seems to be actually winding down. There were rumors that they might shut it down. Nothing came out officially yet. There's a few others. PlayStation has their own, where you can actually play on a PlayStation, right? You can play games from PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3. You can stream them. So streaming games is basically playing the game on a remote machine.
Huh?
Interesting concept.
Yeah. And talking about using your phone to do things. A decade after the failed Atrix 4G laptop dock, Motorola is taking another stab at turning a phone into your computer. It says, by way of an Android 11 update, Edge Plus users on Verizon can now connect their handset to a bigger screen for a desktop-style experience in the vein of Samsung's DeX. In a nutshell, that means you'll be able to access all the productivity, gaming, and streaming apps on your phone on a monitor or TV. Motorola hopes that you'll see it that you'll use it for everything from editing work documents and making video calls, which should look great thanks to the solid collection of cameras on the Edge Plus, to playing Fortnite or a cloud gaming service like Xbox Game Pass or Google Stadia via a Bluetooth controller, to watching Netflix. The new Ready For platform uses a multi-window interface that launches when you connect to a screen through the USB-C or HDMI port. You can also add
So
what?
so think of your laptop where you're using it on the road, using outside of home in a certain way, and then you come home and you plug it into a screen and keyboard,
Yeah,
and use it that way. Now, instead of a laptop, it's a phone.
it's the phone.
Yeah.
I have
That's
not
what
seen.
Samsung has been doing with DeX. And I can say at the beginning it was a mess. The latest version, back about a year ago, a friend from work showed me how it worked for him. And it was surprisingly smooth. I mean, talk about opening a Word document on your phone, right? Here you plug it into the screen, and today with the USB-C standard for display and all of that, right? It doesn't require any longer a specialized docking station. All you need is, if your laptop docking station uses a USB-C connector, you just take that USB-C connector, you plug it to the phone, and your phone is suddenly a full-blown computer. Yes, I'm guessing it's it has less processing power, but
I don't know. Some of them have more than some people use computers. No, it's
yeah. So it's an interesting concept, and I don't think it'll be wide. I don't think they're going to be widespread use, but there's going to be business applications for it. That part I'm sure. Most people
most people
are
use it.
stepping away
Yeah.
from the desktop more and more and more and more, and even from the laptop, right? You're seeing a lot more use for the phone, a lot more use for tablets, a lot more use for even Chromebooks, right? This would be a fantastic replacement for a Chromebook, the way I see it. A lot more portable, a lot more versatile, and now it's going to be baked into the Android OS system. So it doesn't really matter which phone you're going to own. It doesn't need to be a Motorola one. It doesn't need to be.
Yeah, but it has to have.
It's going to be
USB.
part of the OS, of what the OS does by default.
But it needs to have a USB-C.
Yeah, but USB-C is becoming the widespread standard anyway, right? So, yeah.
It says you can also add accessories like a keyboard or mouse to further match the feel of a desktop. There's no dedicated app.
Right.
And you can use your phone as a second screen while working on a bigger display. To help with that, Motorola is releasing a ready for they call it dock on April 19th on Amazon, with pricing to be announced closer to launch. So it's interesting, just use your phone. That's the computer. And most people today on the computer really are using, what do they use it for? Mainly browsing and email, and most email done also while you're browsing. So it's not a big deal to do it or to come up with the idea, but apparently it's a big deal to work it into a phone.
Right.
Apparently they tried before with that Atrix 4G. So we'll see. Let's see what else we have. Now, Qualcomm has wrapped up its 1.4 billion acquisition of silicon design firm Nuvia. That's an interesting story. A move that will lead to in-house Qualcomm CPU designs. The acquisition should allow Qualcomm to compete with Apple's silicon division and focus on pushing bigger, better ARM chips into the laptop market. The deal was announced in January 2021. Now, don't feel bad if you never heard of Nuvia. This is where the interesting part comes in. Nuvia was, if you know, the company was only founded in 2019.
Oh,
and has never made a product. Nuvia was focused on building server chips, but Qualcomm seems mainly interested in the engineering pedigree here, since the company was founded by 3 high-ranking engineers from Apple's Silicon division. Nuvia CEO Gerard Williams, formerly Apple's chief CPU architect for nearly a decade, is now Qualcomm's SVP of engineering. So here's a company that was founded, never did anything, and 2 years later are being bought for $1.4 billion.
Well,
works for me.
they never produced an end product. It doesn't mean they didn't do anything.
I don't know.
It
it
Come
says,
on.
yeah, it's
engineering is engineering. You know exactly that.
Yeah,
It's not only that.
the article saying they never made a product.
Yeah, they never produced. I get that.
Wait a second. Let's see who that is. Hello. Who's on the other side? Hello. Talk to us. Can't hear you. Oh, well. Didn't work. Try again. All right. Yeah, you should. We should be able to hear you now. Oh, no, he hangs up. He or she. It's just kind of amazing that something like this would happen. That a company like that's only 2 years old, and but yes, they got a lot of knowledge there.
One of the things that we do not know is how many patents they've registered.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
Right.
That's what they
Right.
do. That's what
that's the thing. There's a lot of work
Yeah.
that's been done other than actual production. So
Yeah, and if Qualcomm was interested in them a year and a half ago, then and they were told, yeah, we're going to buy you. So, I mean, that discourages you from developing anything. You say, well, they're going to buy us, so it's fine. So just sit back and I don't know.
I don't know. The way you see it, it's like you don't know how the system works, but you do know how the system works. That's what I'm saying. It's like there's a lot going on there. And
I'm
maybe
sure
they bought them because they haven't produced anything yet, because now Qualcomm can produce it as their own.
What they want. That's
So,
true too.
Yeah.
That's true too. Here's another story about Telegram. Telegram is riding high, adding tens of millions of users this year. Now the bill is coming due. The messaging service and social media platform owes creditors roughly $700 million by the end of April. According to people briefed on the company's plan and loan documents viewed by the Wall Street Journal. And at the same time, Telegram Group must cover rising equipment and bandwidth expenses because of its rapid growth, despite going years without attempting to generate revenue. Telegram is one of the few significant social media challengers to Facebook on a trajectory toward 1 billion user active each month by the end of 2022, up from roughly 550 million today. But first, Pavel Durov, the Dubai-based Russian who owns Telegram, needs to figure out how to convert his app's momentum into a self-sustaining business. That can be scary. To pay the bills, Mr. Durov is issuing investors $1 billion to $1.5 billion of company debt, with the promise of discounted equity if the company eventually goes public. I mean, there must be people out there that have that kind of money to bet on stuff like that.
They did have a plan right before the pandemic, actually.
Yeah, I'm sure.
To monetize large groups, to advertise within large active groups.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think they were talking about 500 users or more, to embed advertisement within those groups.
Yeah, so that's the other thing that he's planning on doing. Plans to start selling ads in public Telegram channels as soon as later this year, as well as offering other premium services for businesses and users. But if it's if it's growing that fast, I'm sure people look at it. People with money look at it and say, "Hey, yeah, I want to be in it." But there's no guarantee here.
Yep.
I wish I had $1 billion or 100 million to put in it and get a big chunk of it. Yep. Some years ago, I remember we were talking with Marilyn about, people that have that are hearing impaired.
What?
People cannot enjoy the show. I think if you go into... All right, let's try it again, just in case. Morning.
Good morning. This is Gene.
Hey,
Can you hear
Gene.
me okay?
Yes.
Hey, I put a question in the chat, but nobody responded. It's been sitting there for a while. But Spectrum sent me a letter saying they were going to increase my internet bill by $10 a month because I was on a promotion, but now the promotion's over.
To go to what speed?
So $64.99.
No, to go to what speed?
Oh, I don't know. It's the best they got. It's the high speed.
What do you have now?
I've got Spectrum.
What speed?
Oh, let's see. Yeah. I can't tell you from where I am.
As far as I know, the Spectrum's highest speed in our area is 400.
Yeah, that's what I got.
The 464, yeah, it's 64 is a good price. That's with the promotion. we have
Yeah, they say the promotion's going to run out again next March, and then
Yeah.
it's going to 74.
right.
Okay, I just wanted to know. I've been paying $54.99 for so long. I didn't know what was going on.
Now, are you sure that you don't have other competitors running fiber in your neighborhood?
I had AT&T come out, and the guy was very honest. He just walked up to me and said, "Just check down below on my driveway. I live up the hill," and he said, "There's no way I can match what you got."
Oh, so
no.
you cannot get AT&T high speed?
Right. We don't have the fiber in the area, and he
Oh,
said,
okay.
based
No,
on what,
that's good
yeah,
enough.
he said,
Yeah,
so
I'll
I
go.
guess I
I'll
stay with Spectrum.
now, Gene. In reality,
Yeah.
so you must have 300. Why do you need 400? What
I
do you,
probably don't.
yeah, what do you do with the internet?
Well, just about everything.
How
Of course,
many?
a lot of emails, and I do a lot of browsing, and I got the Roanoke River Basin Association and the Homeowners Association stuff. I
Right.
do a lot of
But
yeah.
the thing is you're doing email and you're browsing.
Yeah, and I'm using it. I'm using the computer for
Yeah.
everything I can possibly use it
How
for.
how many TVs? I mean, you don't have? I'm assuming you don't have TV with.
No, I got.
Sta-
The reason I got direct CNS because it's got the NFL ticket
Okay.
on it. Otherwise, I probably would.
I
I
don't.
probably would change it.
To tell you the truth, I don't know that for you and the wife that you'll see any difference.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give it a try. Maybe.
You can. You can always cancel it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Thanks for the answer. I'll
Yes,
be
sir.
listening in. Okay. Bye bye.
All right.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat with since we canceled our TV with Spectrum, now we're just going straight internet, and there was no promotion, so I'm going to be paying the 74.
Yeah.
And it's 300. I didn't think it was 400.
No, 400 is
That's their most expensive, right? Higher speed.
Yeah, they can't
Yeah,
go
so
any.
I'm at 300 now.
Oh wait, that's right. I'm sorry, I was wrong. It's 79 for the 400.
Right. So $5. I
Yeah.
don't really need it.
Yeah, that's. I mean, with all the devices here and the streaming, I splurged. I still saved over $100 when I got off the TV, so it's okay. So, um, so yeah, I mean, we were talking about uh, what do you call it? Closed captions. Marilyn always wanted her shows to have closed captions. I think if you go to the settings in no, I don't know the advanced maybe. Oh, this is no this. Wait.
Android phones have it built in today.
Really?
The new OS. Very interesting.
I know that I noticed it. Yeah, I don't see closed captioning on YouTube. After the fact, yeah, but not live. But if you click on channel 4, that's Facebook. And Facebook has it live. I don't know why I don't see it now, but normally you'll see it. It just there. Yeah, and it says auto generate captions is on. Maybe it takes some time before it comes on, but I went to Facebook, and sure enough, it's right there. I said, "What is this?" So I never asked for it, but by default, apparently it was on. Again, I really don't see it now, even though it says it's on.
It can be frustrating with all the different services to find how closed captioning is controlled or how you can modify it and change the size and color and text. I find that on the Amazon Fire Stick, sometimes the adjustment, there's no global adjustment. Roku has a global adjustment in the settings to turn it on.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that all the apps work with that. But it tends to be a little easier. But in Amazon Fire Stick, it's usually the app itself that you use. And for things like YouTube has closed captioning, but it seems like you don't know unless maybe if you have YouTube Premium, it might be different, but you can't save the setting that I can find. You go to one site, you turn it on, it's not a big deal. Just go turn it on, but you go to the next site, it's off. So I'm going to see if I can find the universal setting to turn it on.
Yeah, I don't see any.
Netflix, if you adjust it in the app or at the site, it changes it to every device you stream to. So you don't have to adjust it. If you have it on Roku on one machine, you watch it on a laptop on another, on your television, it will change it across the board. It takes a little time for it to propagate out, but you can go and adjust in you log in with your computer and you can find the setting, adjust it, and then it gets pushed out to all the devices you watch, which is very convenient.
Yeah, that's nice. I know that on YouTube, after the fact, like after the recording is there and you go on demand, there you can have captions, which is nice.
I think there are extensions for browsers for YouTube to control stuff like that.
Probably, yeah. But I watch YouTube mainly on either my phone or on TV, on the app, in Amazon Fire Stick YouTube app.
Brent is saying that he has to go down to the Spectrum store in Raleigh today to swap out a bad DVR. You don't need any luck. I mean, they do it. They will do it happily. But good luck anyway. No. Anyway. Anything else? I wonder what happened to Nick. Nick didn't say anything and didn't show up. I'm gonna have to duck his pay. Hopefully everything is okay down there, though. All right, so we don't have anything else that anybody wants to talk about?
Not a mind.
All right.
Is it safe to put down fresh mulch up to your house? Because somebody told me not to do that because of termites.
Come on.
That's what I was told. Because we had all the mulch made from the cutting out the stumps, and it's just tons of mulch. And I've been spreading it around. I'm thinking, how would that be different than the mulch in a bag?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I think what I'll do is when it gets a little warmer, we have a pest service that comes in around and they'll spray around the foundation. But I think I might just go around and spray wherever I put the mulch, like right up against the house.
Is it sitting outside the pile?
Oh, yeah. It's been outside. Well, it's been sitting outside exposed for over 2 months.
Go ahead and stick your hand in there.
What?
Did you?
In the mulch?
It is hot.
Oh, yes. Yeah, this is all, well, this isn't, I wouldn't call this shredded because it was cut with that giant blade thing, but it's mostly chips.
Oh, no.
It's mulchy though, I tell you.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
It's hot. It's been cooking. So I still have to remove a lot of it to level out where the trees were. so I can have a flat lawn. Oh, well. So
Okay.
I brought it up and you really, it's like we could talk about this for hours.
About
The mulch show.
you need to color it though.
Malts.
This is actually not a bad color. And when I first laid it out, because it had been, it had been sitting for a while, it was dirty because it had soil mixed in with it. But after a rained, it cleaned it up.
You
nice.
need to color it because you don't want to
each
have,
individual piece.
you don't want to have any problem with your HOA.
Because I have to take a magic marker and paint each one.
Gal, what did you say?
The schmaltz show.
Oh, the schmaltz.
Mulch.
Let's not get into that. All right. So I guess that's it. And to all our Jewish audience out there, happy Passover. It's coming up. Starts next week, right? Yeah?
Saturday.
Yeah, next Saturday.
Next Saturday.
Yeah. All right. So thanks, Gal. Thanks, Spence. That was fun.
Indeed.
And
I had more fun than you did.
I hope so. That doesn't say much.
Yep.
And good morning, Kathy, Hannah, Nabil, Mac, Norm, Katie and Donna, Dina, Michal and Arlet, Eleanor. Thanks everybody for tuning to come. And I don't want to forget Sarid. Thank you everybody for tuning to Computers 2K Now. We hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something from our time together. Remember to practice safe computing, back up your hard drive, and update your virus scanner. We'll be back here next Sunday at 9, but you can always reach us at Computers 2K Now. If you have a Roku TV, go ahead and look for the show on Roku, and there's a Roku app that you can add to your computer, your TV, and watch us on the big screen. Tonight it's 7. It's Nick hopefully does the ATN show Against the Norm, and on Tuesday evening at 7 on Twitch, Nick does the Infection podcast, gaming, survival games. Have a safe week. We'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by StreamingGear.com, Carolina Apparel, and DeltaForce.net.